Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about something very controversial. I'm going to be talking about the use of AI in spirituality, specifically in druidry and in creating content. So yes, I've spent some time thinking about this, and I've put together a kind of script of stuff that I want to say, and then I'm going to be discussing in between the script to kind of explain what I think about this topic and also how I use AI in my druidry and how I'm going to be using it moving forward in my content, because I believe that it is a very useful tool that we can use if we use it correctly. We can use it in a more sustainable way, because I understand there are impacts of using something like this. A language model like this has used lots of resources to be trained and continues to use resources as people use the service, so I do understand all of these impacts. However, I do believe that personally for me it is currently something that really helps me to make sense of the ideas and thoughts I have in my head around druidry, and helps me to articulate them and make content. So that is what I'm going to be discussing today, and let's just begin with the start of my script. So I don't find that books help me to reflect very much on my druidry. So this is something that I have always struggled with. I've been interested in druidry since I was 16. I'm now 20, so it's been like 3.5 years that I've been interested in this spiritual path, but every book that I've read has only introduced me to the beginnings of druidry, and I kind of understand all those beginnings, but I don't really know how to kind of live druidry. Like I kind of have always struggled to get past that point, and it was only when I started to talk to AI about how I was feeling I started to really understand what druidry actually is and how that looks in the modern world. So I used to struggle because I didn't really understand what druidry was and like how you actually did it. But when I started talking to this language model, I started to understand that it is in the way that you live your life. It is in the way that you choose different choices because you want to be more conscious about the planet. And I think that this is so much better than what I thought it was. I thought it was like something that was shrouded in mysticism, that like was people were gatekeeping because I couldn't join the Order of Bards, Ovates and Druids because I couldn't make that investment. So when I then learned from talking to ChatGPT about druidry and how it looks for someone like me, it seemed so much more accessible and easy to do, and it made me realise that I've been practising druidry all these years but I haven't labelled it as that. It's in the way that I appreciate the trees on my walk to lectures, how I look at the way that the light falls on certain buildings at certain times of the day, and how I appreciate music and it helps me connect to other people and connect to certain emotions and feelings I have. By talking it through with something that isn't real, something that is artificial, I've been able to, it kind of takes all the wisdom of the internet, it's taken all of that and it's helped me to really understand what druidry is, and that's been something that's been really valuable to me. So therefore I think that it has been useful and I don't regret using it. Next, so I said I don't find that books help me to reflect very much on my druidry. So this is because books aren't interactive, books aren't like a two-way conversation. Like if I have questions, like I don't really know who to ask. Like my community is very small, I only know of a couple of druids who watch my channel, so there's not a lot of people to ask if I have certain questions. So I find it really helpful to get the opinion of something that has no lived experiences. It has just information from so many people's experiences on the internet. So I said, but talking to ChatGPT helps me to articulate things I struggle to put into words that I experience, and this helps me to create videos. So lately I've been trying to create videos because I've had a break from lectures, I've been doing exams, so I've had lots of time to think and to really create things and to put in plans for this year of what I want to do creatively. And I've decided that I want to return to creating videos, and it's been really hard to just pick this whole thing back up. So I found that talking it through with AI, trying to think of ideas, it's been inspiring me of what I can explore in my druidry to then make videos about. So this sometimes means that I ask ChatGPT for a list of video ideas, and it helps give me ideas of certain like video essays and certain like concepts within druidry that I can think about, which I can then create videos about. So I've said I sometimes use it to think of video ideas which I then build on and reflect on the titles it generates. This helps me to deepen my druidry, as it's really hard to experience and come up with these things in a vacuum. So that means I find these things really hard to come up with on my own, just in nature and in the city, because I've been learning a lot about urban druidry, and druidry isn't just nature, it's appreciating wherever you live. And if that's like a non-natural landscape, then that is still valid, that is still druidry. You can still practice druidry in urban settings. So I also said I don't use AI as a teacher, instead I use it as something that says thoughtful things that I can either resonate with or not. Druidry is not dogmatic, so it isn't telling me how to live, it's instead articulating the lens through which I see the world. It's instead something I talk things through with, and it has a lot of knowledge on the subject, and it's like talking to a book that's interactive. So that's kind of what I've said already. It helps me to take my experiences and to make sense of them so I can turn them into art. So I love writing songs, I love writing books, I love writing poems. Well, the poems always end up turning into songs, but I just find that I really like to create, so by thinking about things and really thinking about them more by talking to AI, I can then think about what I can turn them into, my certain feelings and experiences. So books still have their place and are important in modern druidry. However, the only books I've found have tended to focus around beginners and don't teach me anything I don't know about druidry. So if you have any recommendations of any books that aren't for beginners about druidry, I'd really love to hear, because I've only really found ones for beginners, and I really want things that kind of can extend my practice and help me think of other things that I haven't thought of yet, different ideas and concepts and stuff like that. I find it's really rare to have solitary revelation, instead discussion helps me. However, and this is the really important part of the video, I am aware of the impacts of using a language model to help deepen my druidic practice. Therefore, I am being more conscious of other choices I make, such as cutting meat out of my diet and following a more pescatarian diet. I am also using AI intentionally and not constantly, and using what I learn to help inspire others with what I learn from it, so it isn't just for my own personal use, but is also helping whoever is watching my channel. I have done my research, and it is less impactful for me as an individual to use it than to drive a petrol car and to eat meat. So I was just trying to understand the scale of what I was doing compared to other things, like, because people say how bad AI is for the environment, but this is because you are viewing all of it added together, like compared to other things that you can do to the environment. The use of AI is not as damaging as people make it out to be. So yeah, eating meat and driving a petrol car is more bad for the environment, although I do understand that AI does still have negative impacts on the environment. By making other choices that are positive for the environment, I can still use AI thoughtfully, because it is just such an important part of my understanding of druidry at the moment. But I'm hoping in the future I won't have to use it as much, because I'll start to form my own ideas and things, and I'll not need to talk things through as much. I might find that journaling is better for me, but at the moment I'm finding that talking it through with something that has all of the knowledge of the internet is very useful and is very inspiring for me. I've also said I don't use AI to replace practice, I just use it to help enhance it. I don't let AI choose what I believe in, I instead let it decide what resonates and what doesn't. And that is everything I wanted to say. So I hope that this video made you, if you use AI, feel less guilty about it, because I feel like there is a lot of stuff out there that makes us feel guilty about the use of AI, when if we're making other conscious choices to be less environmentally damaging, we can and have a less carbon footprint and all of that sort of stuff, then we can use AI thoughtfully, because it is a tool that is very useful, and if used in the right way it can help enhance us. It shouldn't replace us. But yes, that's all I wanted to say. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and I will be back soon for a new one. Bye!